Morning, everybody. I am arriving in style. Man, it's great to be back. With the Port Colborne Fire Department. Woo! You know what? It seems each and every year, because we're here annually during Fire Prevention Week, I got a new piece of equipment, and this equipment's getting pretty heavy. So props to all the firefighters that are keeping us safe. But it's great to have fire prevention officers from around Niagara with us this morning. Good morning, everybody! Okay, so let's do the roll call. I know you got your masks on, so we might not be able to hear you, but we have Thorold, we have Niagara Falls, we have Pelham, we have Port Colborne, we have Fort Erie, we have Niagara-on-the-Lake, we have Grimsby, we have Wainfleet, and we have Lincoln. Morning, everybody. Morning. Awesome to have you. We got the mic on Gary, who's from the Oakville Fire Department, but he's also the Vice President, let me get this right, of the Ontario Municipal Fire Prevention Officers Association.
That's correct.
I got it. Nice. Why is it important to have, this is kind of an obvious question, Gary, but to have fire prevention officers from around the region gather for an event like this during Fire Prevention Week?
With the fire service, you know, everything is easier to do when you have a lot of teamwork, and no different when we're talking about public education.
Yeah. Fire Prevention Week, is it always the same week every single year?
Yes, it is. So Fire Prevention Week marks the Great Chicago Fire from 1871. During this fire, the fire started on October 8th and burned for 3 days. Unfortunately, at the end of the fire, over 250 people died, over 100,000 were homeless, and up to 17,000 structures were lost in the fire.
So this is a North American initiative?
Yes, it is.
And listen, Fire Prevention Week is every week, as you guys know as fire prevention officers, but what do you really try to do in this week? There's always a theme to the week.
Yes, so the National Fire Prevention Association, they always come out with a theme every year, and this year it's Learn the Sounds of Fire Safety. And what we're the goal this year is trying to get people to understand that once their alarms sound, they have to react immediately. So
you hear that sound, but there's more than, so there's the sound of the fire alarm.
Yes.
Okay, what other sounds do we have?
So you can get a sound from the smoke alarm or from your carbon monoxide alarm. And it could be an intermittent chirp, which usually means that the battery has to be replaced. So you replace the battery. If it continues to chirp, then replace the entire alarm. Now, if it sounds, that means it's time for you to react now, get out. Typically in a house fire, you only have 2 to 3 minutes to evacuate safely.
There were some other sounds that we heard off the top there too, of this fire truck coming around the corner and that horn.
Yes.
That's another sound that we should be familiar with and kids should be familiar with.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, kids should understand that, you know, firefighters, don't be afraid of them. We're community helpers, we're there to help. So anytime they need help, they should look for somebody in uniform.
Awesome. Okay, well, we're going to be spending the morning here in Port Colborne with everybody from the Niagara area. We have a brand spanking new fire cell right here, a burn cell as they call it. I got to get my terms right, that we're going to be demonstrating on a few of the sounds with some of our fire prevention officers. And we'll talk about those smoke alarms and those carbon monoxide alarms that this is a good time to be checking those. Okay, sound good, everybody? Great to have you. Joe, can we start her up again? Set back in. We back. More than left. Good morning. Great to be back in Port Colborne. We are learning the sounds of fire safety because this is Fire Prevention Month. We have all fire prevention officers from around the Niagara region here with this morning, including Charles Turpin.
Good
Port
morning.
Colborne Fire Prevention Officer. Good to see you again, Charles.
Good to see you.
Okay, we're starting with that because that's a sound that we all know.
That's the sound of a smoke alarm going off.
Smoke alarm. And that's not the sound of the battery being low.
No.
That's a different sound.
Yes. So the sound of a battery being low is a chirp.
Okay.
It may go off every 30 to 45 seconds saying, I'm in trouble, I need to be replaced. So your battery in your unit will probably have to be replaced, whether it's a 9 volts, whether it's a AA, or anything else of that nature.
Where we are at with smoke alarms, do we want them hardwired? Is that ideal, what we want?
We want hardwired with battery backup. and hardwired, interconnected in every sleeping room and every floor of your house, just like we have in new builds.
So new builds have that now.
They have that.
I live in an older home.
Yep.
It does not have that.
Does not.
What is an interconnected smoke alarm, Charles?
An interconnected smoke alarm uses your household wiring, and then it plugs into the back of the unit, and then they talk to each other.
They talk to each other. So,
Yes.
for example, so we have the burn cell here.
Yep.
So the fire or the smoke alarm is going off. Why am I'm always saying fire alarm? The smoke alarm is going off here. Here's the other room
Yes.
next door.
Next door.
Okay, so I can even walk through.
Walk through.
Walk through. Okay. We got Vince from Thorold's fire prevention officer trying to escape here. Okay, so this door needs to be shut. Generally, that's what
People
we recommend.
sleep with their doors closed at night, and it's safer that way. So if a fire starts in another part of the house, this will stop the smoke spread. This will stop the contaminants, what everybody can breathe. That's why we always talk about 2 ways out of every house,
Okay.
out of every room in every house.
So the only issue with that is if we don't have an interconnected smoke alarm. Vince, can you set that one off?
Okay, that's interconnected.
That's interconnected.
Yeah.
So if something is a fire in this room here, we're hearing it in this room.
Yes.
Okay, Vince, can you do it where we don't hear it in this room?
Really hard to hear with your door closed and the smoke alarm out in the hallway or in another part of the house while you're sleeping.
So again, that's the importance of interconnected smoke alarms.
Yes.
And that's where we're trying to get to in every single home and building.
Yeah, and we can provide that through either electrical power from your house with interconnected, or there are options for battery operated interconnected smoke alarms.
Okay, let's step up the demonstration a little bit.
Yep.
Because this is a burn cell.
It is.
Could we get a fire going in here to really demonstrate what it would look like and the sounds of the fire alarm?
Yep. We're going to light up the other side in the living room. We're going to have this with the door closed.
Okay.
We're going to show you how protected it is and the sounds of fire.
We'll do that. Be careful there, you. Because it's the Fire Prevention Week, we are learning the sounds of fire safety with Niagara Fire Prevention Officers on Morning Live. Let's hear it again, Vince. Welcome back to Port Colborne as we are into Fire Prevention Week. Great to be back with Fire Prevention Officer from Thorold. We got Vince Giovannini. Did I get it?
You got her.
I got
You
her.
Got it.
Great to see you again.
Likewise.
And last year when we were here, we had a burn cell. It was a bit smaller.
Yep.
Okay. And these burn cells are neat to see, but the main goal is to prevent burn cells or fires altogether.
Well, and that's the key. It's a demonstration tool for us. How else do you demonstrate? Visual is a great way to show people the effects of what happens. It's hard to talk about it after the fact or read it.
Fire prevention is the main thing.
Absolutely.
Okay. Any key points there?
Preventing. If we can prevent fires from happening in the first place, such as stay in the kitchen when you cook, make sure you're not overloading electrical circuits, use extension cords properly, that's the key. Things like that. Keep matching lighters out of kids' hands.
Yep.
Prevent fires from happening in the first place. Let's try. Okay. But accidental fires do occur.
Okay.
We know
so
that.
then detection is the next thing. And that's Fire Prevention Week right there.
And that's Fire Prevention Week this year, is
the
know
theme.
the sounds of fire safety. Early warning and detection is the key. If you don't have working smoke alarms, you're not going to be alerted to an emergency in your home. You're not going to know if there's smoke or fire in your home. You may not know it, especially if you don't have working smoke alarms or smoke alarms on all levels of your home.
We're talking about this each and every year during Fire Prevention Week, but there's still so many people that don't have those working smoke alarms.
Absolutely. It's actually quite sad to see vast majority of people not knowing what they are, not knowing what they do, or not even having them
And we
in
were
place.
talking with Charles, a fire prevention officer from Port Colborne, is to have the interconnected. Now that's another step, right? First thing we want to make sure everybody has a fire alarm, smoke alarm.
Everybody wants a smoke alarm. You need a smoke alarm on all levels of the home. Newer homes are built with interconnected smoke alarms on all levels and in bedrooms. And that's key, because it gives you that advantage to early warning, which is going to give you the time to get out.
Okay, so now can we start something here to kind of demonstrate and learn from it?
Absolutely.
As you said we did?
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's light one side up, because that's why you have the two burn cells together to kind
We
of
do.
demonstrate that. So we're going to light one side up and kind of see the effects from it.
Absolutely, because fires intensify every second. And if you don't have the prevention steps in place, if you don't have early warning and detection to alert you to a fire, and then definitely not a home escape plan, you have the opportunity to not only not get out, but you could possibly die.
If people don't know, can they reach out to you?
That's what we're here for.
That's what you're here for.
Every
as far
fire
as like
prevention option.
coming even into your home and seeing where to be putting your.
We can
smoke
provide
alarms?
advice on coming into the home, but give us a call because we can walk you over the phone. Our suppression crews go out. We assist our seniors. That's what we're there for.
And it's just not 1 week a year. It's
every day of the year for us.
it's every day of the year for you.
every year, every year,
Okay,
every
so
day,
we're, so
every
we're
year.
getting this fire going.
So again, when we talk about those three things, preventing fires from happening in the first place, that's the key. And there's many things that residents can do. Like we talked a little bit about it. Staying in the kitchen is one of the biggest things. We see that happen more and more. Okay? We can already hear smoke alarms sounding. Now, the early warning is due to the interconnection. So if you had a fire occur in the basement of your home and you're sleeping at night, those alarms in your bedroom or on the main floor will be sounding.
Okay, let's take a break. Okay, we're going to take a break. When we come back, this fire will be raging. We'll need to be putting out this fire, then we'll take the next steps of reassessing and helping us out and learning.
Absolutely.
Fire Prevention Week. Sounds of fire safety is the theme. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Port Colborne. Our fire is going now. Great to be back with the fire prevention officer from Thorold's. We have Joe Vanini. Yeah, I had it the first time around. Okay, so we have a fire in a cell going here right now.
Yeah. So this is your basic compartment fire that we would see in any residential home. New, old, it's your compartment fire. All of the materials in the home today, the majority of them are all synthetic, which means they warm up a lot quicker and actually are a lot more flammable. And you can see how the fire now is slowly intensifying and the smoke is slowly banking. And that's the importance of early warning. The smoke is what's going to kill you. The smoke will kill you. If you don't have early warning and detection, you're not going to know something's happening.
And this is where you need to have that plan to get out.
Absolutely, because you only have seconds to actually get out of your home in the event of an emergency.
Okay, so we have Colin and Jordan from Port Colborne Fire Department here helping us out.
Absolutely. And what we want to emphasize is our residents are our first responders. We want to make sure that they prevent fires from happening in the first place, they have smoke alarms in place, and that they have a home escape plan to get out so they don't have to face these conditions. And we don't want to put our firefighters in harm's way if we don't have to. So you can see just how toxic that smoke can be. And the smoke alarms are alerting you that there's something going on. Imagine that being in your basement without a working smoke alarm and you're sleeping, or your kids are sleeping, or your loved ones, grandparents, and you don't hear that.
So it's taken over now.
It'll
So
continue.
it hasn't jumped over to the other chair yet, and it hasn't jumped over to the other room yet.
Has not went over to the other
So now
room
we
yet.
do have that interconnected fire alarm going in that other room. Yeah, you want to put that out? Let's put her out because we want to learn some things from this too, right?
Yep.
Because we have the door closed here. So the smoke is kind of getting in there, but that's kind of through the outside. That door closed is important.
Absolutely. We recommend that everybody sleeps with their door closed. And in any other building that we go through other than a residential home, we say close doors because it prevents smoke and fire from jumping to the other room. As you can see from this door, that obviously it's kept the smoke and fire from entering that bedroom. It's a vital key, vital part of your survival. But if you don't have a smoke alarm that's interconnected or hardwired, you're not going to hear or may not hear what's going on the other side.
Okay, how are we doing over there?
They're doing pretty good. So our suppression crews will initially attack it from the exterior, maybe move in a little bit, and then they'll assess and get into their overhaul.
And it's still kind of going a little bit there.
It's still kind of going.
It's still kind of going. Okay, we're running out of time. So other little recaps that we need to touch on here, Vince.
2021.
Right.
And we still see residents without working smoke alarms in their home. I think everybody needs to do themselves a favor and value their life and maybe put a price tag to it if need be.
Okay.
Make sure you have working smoke alarms. Make sure you have a home escape plan. Call 911 from outside. Wait for somebody to help, but prevent those fires from happening in the first place.
And recognize those sounds.
Absolutely.
Even if you're on the street, because these fire trucks are going to be coming
Absolutely.
to help this fire out, and you're going to be
Absolutely.
hearing that.
We can
Listen,
still hear
shout out to all of our fire prevention officers from Niagara. Give us a big wave, guys. Thank you for your help. Learning the sounds of fire safety, Fire Prevention Week 2021. Excited to be back with you guys next year.
Always great to have you guys.
Cheers.